The media is in a meltdown right now about Trump comments. I mentioned his interview with Hugh Hewitt. Among the other things he said then on that interview was about the number of illegals who have gotten into the country who are also murderers. And here's Trump talking about that in his original comments, 35.
How about allowing people to come through an open border, 13,000 of which were murderers, many of them murdered far more than one person, and they're now happily living in the United States. You know, now a murderer, I believe this, it's in their genes, and we got a lot of bad genes in our country right now. They had 425,000 people come into our country that shouldn't be here, that are criminals.
Okay. Now the left is very mad, suggesting that he called all illegals people who have problems with their genes. You know what this reminds? He was very clearly referring to murderers who shouldn't be here in the first place. This reminds me of when I was on Fox News and we were talking about some guy who had molested and then killed a little child and was in prison, who then claimed he was a woman and wanted the taxpayers to pay for his sex change operation. This is a guy who had raped and murdered a child. And when I was on with O'Reilly, I mocked this guy's appearance because he was disgusting and wasn't fooling anyone. And the Disgusting Media Matters actually had a meltdown that I would have the nerve to mock the looks of a so-called trans person. I mean, hello? You are missing the story. No one gives a shit that I mocked the serial killer, the child killer's looks, and no one gives a damn that Trump is talking about bad genes amongst murderers who happen to be illegals. Only a dishonest broker would try to twist this into him. He's saying all illegals have some genetic problem, and that's why they shouldn't. He's married to an immigrant, okay? He's married to an immigrant and reproduced with her. Okay, right. But here is just an example of the meltdown. We begin with Democratic strategist Aisha Mills, who first went on CNN with John Berman during the daytime yesterday.
Is that we have long known that Donald Trump has revered the Nazis. He has revered Hitler. He's read his book. He used to say he had it on his nightstand. Donald Trump has had a very sinister philosophy, wanting to be a dictator, absolutely dividing people up based on who they are, based on factors about them that have to do with their race and their gender, etc. And when he uses language like this, I don't think that it's a Freudian slip. I think that the danger of a Donald Trump is that he would absolutely try to exterminate an entire group of people because he thinks that their genes are somehow different than his and faulty.
Okay, so Evita, we've long known that Trump has revered the Nazis, revered Hitler, and that he would absolutely try to exterminate an entire group of people because he thinks their genes are somehow different from his own. It's slightly over the top. You could make the argument. But listen, maybe, I mean, I will tell you, back in the day on Fox News, if somebody said such a thing, they would get in your ear and say, hello, we're going to need to clean that up. They would have enough decency to realize someone had gone too far. But instead, what CNN did was they invited her back. And then last night, she doubled down on Aaron Burnett, and half of the story of what you're going to see here is Aaron Burnett's non-reaction. Watch this.
All of this smells like an affinity towards eugenics, which really should give us all pause. Because when we remember the last person, the last awful authoritarian dictator who believed in eugenics, it was someone who really wanted to exterminate an entire people because they thought that they didn't have good genes and because they were trying to create a certain type of race.
Come on, Aaron. I don't want to swear.
David, I mean, is this rhetoric to say you believe in the racehorse theory about bloodlines?
Listen. Hey, Aaron, listen, I'm not going to sit here and put up with this. Sorry that Donald Trump feels like standing up for people who may have been murdered by immigrants and want to deport illegal immigrants.
As a black lesbian who Donald Trump doesn't believe has genes as good as his, is he going to attempt to exterminate me
why do you
when he
believe that,
gets
Aisha?
elected? Because he's damn near said it. That's why, David. That's why.
Because he's,
okay, and I'm not going to be lectured by some white man who has no idea what he's talking about and is trying to rewrite history here.
I appreciate both of you. I know it's obviously getting heated. I think what people appreciate about both of you is you mean what you say and you say what you mean. And you're both very genuine people.
No.
So I just want to, let me just turn the conversation here.
Oh my God. Evita, thoughts on that? You think you go on Fox News, think you get away with that and calling somebody out, dismissing their opinion for their race, because of their biological sex, playing every single card you can possibly play and saying Donald Trump is really a Hitler who's into eugenics and is going to exterminate me?
I mean, the standard is completely different. I'll tell you that. I mean, you even talked about it yourself with Media Matters. I mean, you say anything remotely, colorful, and they'll jump down your throat. But the rules, the standards, completely out the window when it comes to regime-controlled media outlets like CNN, MSNBC, NBC, ABC. I'm going to tell you, Megyn, what I thought about when I heard that. It really made my blood boil. There is modern-day eugenics. It's happening. My little sister was born with Down syndrome. 80 to 90% of kids with Down syndrome are aborted in America. 98% in Denmark and other European countries. So yeah, it's happening. But the people who support eugenics actually happens to be the left. The people who support discriminating against others based on their skin color actually happens to be the left. We just talked about it with FEMA funds. The people who support authoritarian measures happen to also be the left. Let's talk about what's happening right now with disinformation and the government and the media claiming that anyone who criticizes the Biden administration's responses to this hurricane is somehow a spreader of mis and disinformation. That's what authoritarians do. Hillary Clinton just last week saying it's really a big problem that we don't have total societal control over information in the digital public square. These people are such liars. And it gets to me the most because of the hypocrisy of it all. The people who are supporting modern day eugenics, it is the left. Mm-hmm. The people who support discriminating against people, unborn babies, based on things that they have no control over, things that should never be a prerequisite for killing someone, is the left.
Well said. Link, I don't know if I should let you speak because you're a white man. And according to Aisha, you shouldn't have an opinion because I guess you're part of the group that wants to eliminate black lesbians.
I am gay, so.
Oh, but you still want to eliminate the lesbians. They're annoying. You're only in favor of the gays, I guess.
So I know I'll go hang around Cubbyhole in the West Village. But no, what I have to say is I love how it's 2 a.m. It's 2 a.m. Erin Burnett can barely keep her eyes open. And you've got David Urban and this random Aisha woman. I mean, the bar is low to be a Democrat strategist. You might think it's low. RFK found me on TikTok. Whatever, I'm Gen Z. The bar is really low to be a Democratic strategist these days. Let's be honest. If you are offended by Donald Trump calling illegal migrant murderers people with bad genes, you need to grow up. You know who's not offended by that is Laken Riley's family or the other families who have lost loved ones at the hands of illegal migrant murderers. So everybody needs to grow up, put on your big boy pants, because Donald Trump is going to say what he's going to say. If you're offended by that, I don't know, maybe you should go be in a padded cell like Girl Interrupted and not leave the house. I don't know.
Exactly right. This woman she's got a screw loose. As a black lesbian who Donald Trump doesn't believe has genes as good as his, is he going to attempt to exterminate me? And then why do you, oh no, here it is. Because, okay, I'm not going to be lectured by some white man. All right, first of all, that is the point at which Erin Burnett should have said, whoa. Right. Everybody here has the right to speak. We don't reduce people and their right to speak down to skin color or biological sex, madam. It was an utter fail. Erin Burnett, you needed to wake up more. And no, nobody was appreciating her authenticity at all in that moment. She was offensive. She was racist. She was sexist. He gets to have an opinion despite the fact that he happens to have male body parts and was born white. This woman, Aisha Mills, her bio, okay. She describes herself as a public affairs strategist, thought leader, doubtful, political operative, renowned for my ability to unite diverse stakeholders around a shared vision to do well and good. Again, doubtful. Don't believe one word of that. And Aisha Mills should never appear on CNN again. She should never be invited back. And if she is invited back, fuck off, CNN, because you once again completely abandon your stated mission of trying to get back to the middle. You don't do that by putting lunatics like Aisha Mills on there and that poor David Urban, who has to deal with this nonsense, being insulted on every level not to mention the afactual charges, and with no protection from the anchor to say, we're going to stay factual and not deeply offensive about Trump and about men and about white people. Sorry, it's a rule here. Anyway, so offensive. Being able to run your business on your schedule is not just a luxury, it's a necessity. If mailing items like legal documents, checks, or marketing materials takes up a lot of your time, Stamps.com is the time saver you need. Cut down hours spent mailing and shipping with Stamps.com and do it all on your own timeline. From small businesses to multi-location organizations, Stamps.com handles all your mailing and shipping needs wherever, whenever. Take care of mailing and shipping wherever you are, even on the go, with the Stamps.com address. All you need is a computer and a printer. That's all you need. They even send you a free scale. Easily schedule package pickups through your Stamps.com dashboard and automatically see the cheapest and fastest shipping options from different carriers. Get rates you can't find anywhere else, like up to 89% off USPS and UPS. Order supplies and even printers from the supply store when you run low. Sign up at Stamps.com and enter code MK for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a free digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. That's Stamps.com, code MK. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.